Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is T.S. Sudhir and you're watching Study with Sudhir. In this episode of the SWS Natu Natu series for the board examinations of 2024, I'm pleased to present an MCQs video, an MCQs test on the Tempest. This is for ISC Class 12 board exams, which is due on the 13th of February. That is the English literature examination. And there is really no gap. 12th is the English language. 13th is literature. So you need to study both language, prepare for both language and literature during this week, right? So let's get started without spending any more time because time is at a premium. Okay, so you can see the MCQs on the Tempest as part of the SWS Natu Natu series. And one more point before I start, if you are looking for lots of test papers, please look at the 20 test papers for ISC class 11 and 12 on English grammar specifically, the specimen paper solved plus the 19 papers which have been curated by me. You would find them extremely useful to prepare for the English language paper. Okay, you can download the Study with Sudhir app on your phone, or you can go to studywithsudhir.com, the website. You can look at it on either route. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let me just reduce the size. Yeah. In the mask in Act 4 of the play, how does Cirrus know that Juno is coming? Now, the first four questions are from your 2023 board examination paper. So these are the four PYQs which I have put out. The first four, the remaining are either made by me. Some of them are taken from pre-board papers of different schools across the country, which my students have sent me. So you get a cross section of questions which have been prepared by teachers across the country and also by me. Okay, and these are both recall questions, also a bit of understanding and application questions. So the answer to the first question is by Juno's gait. That is the walking style. What does Cirrus say to bless the young couple? That their barns will never be empty, that they will rule as king and queen. And you're talking about who? You're talking about Ferdinand and Miranda. This is Act 4. That they will overcome all obstacles, that they will travel around the world. The correct answer is A, that their barns will never be empty. Barns where they keep all the produce the cattle, fodder, etc. In Act 5, Scene 1, Alonso says irreparable is the loss. What is the irreparable loss that he's referring to out here? Is he referring to the loss of his kingdom? Is he referring to the loss of the crew members that happened early, who he thinks they're all dead, or the royal ship, or the loss of Ferdinand? The correct answer is loss of his son, Ferdinand. What does Prospero intend to do with his book before his interaction with Alonso in Act 5? Burn it to ashes. This is before he has met them. This is the monologue that he's having. Burn it to ashes, pass it to Caliban, drown it deeper than plummet sound, or gift it to Miranda. The correct answer is C, drown it deeper than plummet sound. What will Stefano do if Trinculo proved to be a mutineer? He will knock a nail into his head. He will hang him up on the next tree. He will throw him into the sea, or he will destroy him. Now, this comes from Act 3, Scene 2. Act 3, Scene 2. And the correct answer is B. He will hang him up on the next tree. The lines are line 34, 35. He says 33, 34. If you prove, Stefano says, Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove to be a mutineer, the next tree. That means he will hang him from the next tree. Now, this is an indication. Now, this question which I have written is an indication that you will get these kind of recall questions. That is, you would have to remember कि कहां पर उसने उसको mutineer कहा था. Mutineer का मतलब जो कि बगावत करे. So where did he say that? In what context did he say that? And what will Stefano do if Trinculo proved to be a mutineer? Because in Act 3, Scene 2, he says a lot of things. So you need to specifically remember, which is why I say, even on the morning of the 13th, please make it a point to read all the poems, all the stories, and the 3 acts of Tempest, every scene, every line before you go to the examination hall. This is absolutely mandatory. It will really help you be better prepared, and it will be fresh in your mind. Each and every word, underline keywords, because that will help you both in MCQs and reasoning questions, apart from giving you material and content for your 5-mark and 10-mark questions. Okay, so this is a recall question. What does Prospero use to tempt Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo with in Act 4? Whether he tempts them with his book, his magic wand, the shiny clothes, or the alcohol bottles, the shiny clothes. When Alonso sees Ferdinand playing chess, he suspects it to be an illusion, his blindness, his lack of sleep, or the fact that, oh, he has met his real son. Now you will get a doubt key. What is it? Now, what you need to do is to go to Act 5, Scene 1. And in fact, I would suggest that as you do it, keep the book with you and keep referring to it. And go to line 177, Act 5, Scene 1, 177. He says, Alonso says, if this prove a vision of this island, okay, vision means illusion of this island, one dear son shall I lose twice, in the sense, shall I twice lose, in the sense that already I've lost my son. Now, this I'm seeing the illusion. If this proves to be an illusion, a vision, that means I will lose him a second time. So he suspects it to be, suspects being a keyword out here, that it is an illusion. In Act 3, Scene 1, when Miranda says, oh, my father, I have broke your head to say so, what aspect? Now, this is an analysis question. As I told you in the video yesterday, you will be getting 4 kinds of questions, which I call the aura questions: the application questions, the understanding questions, the recall questions, and like this, the analysis question. Okay, you'll get these 4 kind of questions, so you need to prepare accordingly. So does it convey that Prospero is indulgent, or he is haughty, or he is arrogant, or he is strict? So because she's scared that she has broken one of his rules, so it shows that he is a strict father. What does Miranda ask when she finds out that Ferdinand is a prince in Act 3, Scene 1? This was in one of the pre-board papers of 2 of my students, in fact. So 2 schools had given a similar question. Now, I don't know whether that is from another source. I am not aware of that. What time is it? If he loves her, if she is cursed, for news from Milan. The correct answer is B, if he loves her. Now, if you go to Act 3, Scene 1, there is a long passage of Ferdinand in which he says, to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient logman. And Miranda says, do you love me? Means, I mean, this is the way. So the correct, I mean, the exact phrase in the question is, do you love me? But the way the structure of the sentence is, so B option is correct. Why does Prospero suddenly end the masque? Because he remembers the foul conspiracy of Caliban and his confederates, because he remembers that the spirits have to go, because he remembers the foul conspiracy of Sebastian and Antonio, or because he remembers that he has to release Boson. So this is 10th A. In Act 5, Scene 1, Caliban says he was a thrice double ass to take this drunkard for a god. He's referring to Stephano. What does it show about him at that stage? At that stage being a key phrase. Okay, so when I write it, I write my questions in such a way that it gives you a hint that you're talking about that specific thing, so that you don't get confused about the Caliban-Stephano equation. That he's a hypocrite, that he's repentant, that he hates Prospero, or is he sad to see Prospero leave the island? So the correct answer is he's repentant. He regrets it. You know, he's regretful. What is the last task that Prospero, now this is a recall question. What is the last task that Prospero gives Caliban in Act 5, Scene 1? Take a shower, promise calm seas, go and rest in my cell, or trim it handsomely. Now he says, the correct option is 12th D, and he says that please go and do a good job of decorating his cell nicely, and he asks him to go into his cells with his companions. Okay, so 12th D. I must be here confined by you or sent to Naples. Who is Prospero saying this to? Another recall question. Alonso, audience, Antonio, or Ariel. Now, it's very important for you to know कि ये कहाँ से लिया गया है. So the correct answer is the epilogue, and the option is B, audience. When Prospero refers to mishapen knave, now what does it mean? A knave is someone who is a dishonest kind of a person. Who is he referring to? Is he referring to Caliban, or to Antonio, or to Ariel, or to Sycorax, the mother of Caliban, the witch? He's referring to Caliban out here. Before the play ends, what does Alonso desire? To see Sebastian and Antonio punished, to hear the story of Prospero's life, to see Miranda and Ferdinand get married, or to see Prospero free Ariel. Now, Alonso is what he's saying. Prospero is saying different things, but Alonso wants to hear the story of Prospero's life. If you see Act 5, Scene 1, just before the epilogue, he says, I long to hear the story of your life. This is from lines 312, 313. I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the year strangely. So that is what Alonso is wanting. Again, as I said, a very important recall question, in the sense that, you know, these are small things which you may get confused. कि ये Prospero ने कहा था कि मैं तुमको कहानी सुनाता हूं, but here the key phrase is before the play ends. So that's what is the key thing. So you need to read the question carefully, understand what it is asking, whether there is some kind of a very subtle googly in the question, and then choose the correct option. Which of the following best describes Stephanos' behavior as he declares himself as Lord of the island? He orders Caliban around and threatens to have people hanged. This is from one of the pre-board papers. He's aggrieved about Alonso? No. He's taking charge of a chaotic situation after the shipwreck? Or is he drunk on power? Or he is mocking the behavior of the royals in Naples? So he's drunk on power. Of course, he's inebriated. Of course, he's very drunk. But in this particular case, it shows that he's drunk on power. You know, he's enjoying that whole feeling कि उसको काफी सारी राजनीतिक शक्ति मिलने वाली है. He will control the island as the king. What is Ferdinand willing to become for Miranda in Act 3, Scene 1? King of Naples, a patient logman, her beloved, or a traitor to Prospero? ये तो अभी मैंने बताया भी था उसमें, a patient logman. Ariel tells the men that their shipwreck and loss of Ferdinand are punishment for endangering Prospero and Miranda, colonizing the island, ये तो नहीं है, taking a bad route on the sea, or the sin of pride. This is for endangering Prospero and Miranda 12 years ago. In Act 5, when Ariel brings the royal party to Prospero, they seem to be in what state? Are they dead? Are they in a trance? Are they weeping? Or are they excited? The correct option is B. They seem to be in a trance. Final question. How does Ariel's music influence Stefano and Trinculo? Now, this is an understanding question. Okay. In Act 3, Scene 2, it calms them, it amazes and frightens them, it helps them express their emotions, or it helps them resolve conflicts with each other. Though they say they are not scared when Caliban asks, but the way they react, it's very obvious that they are both amazed and also a little scared and frightened as a result of hearing the music of Ariel in Act 3, Scene 2. Okay, so I hope this helped you get an idea about the kind of questions that you will get from Tempest MCQs. I think 3 or 4 of the questions, first 4 questions will be from the Tempest in MCQs. I hope you have already seen the reasoning video that I have put on the Tempest. Please go through that, because that's where you can score maximum marks. So that if you do not lose any marks in those 10 MCQs and 10 reasoning questions, you have the potential to do extremely well in the overall English literature paper. Okay, tata, bye bye. Thank you very much. Like the video. If you found it useful, share the video and subscribe to Study with Sudhir. Tata, bye bye.